Okay, we are live. Welcome to Rock Guitar Lessons Monday Night Hang. Looks like we've got a couple of people here already. Sorry for the late start. I was doing admin and stuff for my lessons, which is actually why I shifted the time to 9:30 instead of 9, because I'm literally finishing at 9 and then going straight into a live stream, and I have all this lesson admin and things I need to do, which isn't your concern, but stuff I have to get done. So tonight I want to talk about some guitar solos I've been doing, much the same as I did last week, talking about guitar solos for a friend of mine, Mark, for his song Unspoken Words, which I've been working on and have finally finished my parts. And I have sort of rough mix of the guitar solos over the track, which I can let you hear. So who we got? Who's listening at the moment? Drop me a chat so I know who you are. And I'm gonna basically try and talk through these guitar solos to a certain extent. Oh, it's hey Mark, how you doing? So hopefully you liked the stuff. I kind of went nuts and played all over the place, which was a lot of fun actually. Couldn't resist, It's like, man, there's so much space here to play over. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about what I was doing, and we'll listen to the intro. Couldn't resist playing over the intro, actually. Let me know how the sound is. I take it you can hear my voice okay. I need to put on my headphones. I'm talking, but I can't hear. 1, 2. Well, I can hear me. Let's get a different patch on the guitar. So how you doing anyway? I hope you're well. And how's the rest of the song going? You still, I take it you're working on it still, or what's the deal? Good. Okay, good. So there we go. That was my sound for about 95% of what I played on track. Need to re-record some parts. Yeah, sure. You or me? Yeah, your solos are crap. Can you redo them? Dude, get Steve Vai to do them. He'll know what to do. Okay, let's have a listen. Yeah, you. It sounds good. It's a great song. I like it a lot. It definitely. I mean, I listened to it quite a bit, but it's it grew on me a lot. I think it's great. So yeah. That was obviously a sort of rough mix. So I think there's bits with the vocals that you could bring out a bit more and stuff, but I'll leave that to you. I don't want to get too involved in that stuff. All right, what am I looking for? I'm looking for this. Oh, there we go. Cool. Here we go. So, all right, I'm going to break it down here. Can you hear this? That sound okay? Great. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about what I was doing there. So it's the intro, and I think when you're playing into a song like that, the main thing that I'm thinking about is not, you don't want to go crazy, right? You don't want to just like start shredding right away, because that, well, you kind of, I guess, blow your load too soon or whatever. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it reasonably constrained and reasonably under control, so that you have somewhere to go after that. And in fact, this song, the dynamic goes up and up and up as the song goes on. The parts get more intense. There's more rhythm guitars that come in. The drums go a little bit more nuts. So it builds up, and I was going to solo over all that stuff as well, which I did. It's entirely up to Mark, whether you want to keep, like, what you want to do with that stuff. I mean, you've got all the files, so do what you want with it. But for me, it was like, well, okay, here's how I would do it. So I just laid it down the way I thought best, and then leave it up to you. Obviously, we live in a digital age where we can take all those parts and just do whatever you like. So let's look at this first solo. Something like that. And I wanted to, I'll analyze that in a little bit more detail, but I want to end up on that E note, because that's actually what that's the vocal part right at the very start of the verse. So I'm kind of like emphasizing that E note that the vocal comes in on, and it's kind of like not harmonizing, it's doing a unison with the vocal part at that point where on beat one. So let's have a look at this in a bit more detail. So that was fairly straightforward. That's really coming in on the root of the chord, and just coming in on E. Just a little basic melody, and in this part, just sounded good, so I did it. It's simple as that. Like, my main whole thing with this whole thing, the guitar solos was really, does it sound good? When I'm playing it over the track, does it complement what's going on in the music? When I'm teaching students and it's time for them to do like a guitar solo over maybe something we're working on, a lot of my students seem to write their solos in isolation. So they'll sit and practice a guitar solo, but they won't do it with the actual backing track or whatever we're working with, which I think is probably a massive error, if I'm honest, because for me personally, you kind of need to hear what's going on with the song. I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, yeah, okay, you would write lyrics without necessarily having a song or a chord structure or whatever, and then you could then work those lyrics into your chord structure, your song. But at that point, once you've written the lyrics and you're thinking about the melodies, then of course you're going to be listening to the chord progressions, or vice versa. If you're writing a chord progression, you're going to be listening to the melody. So by the same token, you want to be, when you're composing a guitar solo, you want to have the music in your head going into your ears so that you can actually play something that sounds good and complements the music. If you're not doing it that way, then you're leaving it to chance as to whether it's going to work. I mean, yeah, it might work. It might be in the right key, and you're working through notes that are going to work over whatever you're doing, but it's not connected in any way. So let's have a look at that again. So that bit there is the bit that I was talking about last week. That is a sort of John Frusciante, Red Hot Chili Peppers type thing, where I kind of stole it. I didn't steal it actually, because I wasn't thinking about it at the time. It was after I played it. It was like, where have I heard that before? And it's from the song Venice Queen. The little that's probably lifted straight off the Venice Queen. I mean, I haven't listened to that song in quite a while, but I think that's almost note for note. So let's have a look at the next bit. Just a little melody there. that follows the chords. There's a little bass line that goes. So I just wanted to follow that bass line. And then at this point, I'm going to start to build up towards the end of the solo. So we're going. I think. Should we listen to it? I've lost it already. Let's have a listen. I have to transcribe my own stuff. Let's see. Go back to the start. Something like that. I almost played it note for note there. My memory's so bad. It's so bad. So that's just triplets, really. So sequences, which I practice a lot. Up to there. Probably did something weird with the rhythm. I don't know. And then from there. So it goes from 3 to 4, actually. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or that's what I do. I skip that note there. So I go kind of pentatonic for a second. That's a rhythmical thing to make sure it fits in. And finish up on that E right up there. So again, that's where the vocal part is. So it's sort of doing I was going to say harmonizing the vocal part. It's not really harmonizing it. It's just a unison. It's the same note. So let's turn up the. Yeah, that's it. Here's my solo over the intro. So that was a lot of fun, and it, as I say, it was designed really to not be too over the top to start with. You don't want to just like go in there and just start playing crazy stuff right at the beginning. It's an intro to a song. It's a rock song, but it's not a guitar shred song. Though you wouldn't know it when you listen to some of the other stuff that I put into the middle. There's definitely some shredding going on. Really good fun. Really good fun. So that's the first solo. Just nice and straightforward, fairly simple. Some nice sequences in there, and that works really nicely over that first part. Mark didn't ask me to do an intro solo. He gave me a little section in the middle and said, just do that. I didn't say just do that. He said, here's the thing. But as I say, when I listened to it all, I was like, man, I'm going to go nuts. And I just, like, the intro just felt like it needed some guitar. Again, I don't really know what the sort of scope of this project is. So it's out of my hands, really. I mean, I was asked to do guitar solos. I've done that. And it's up to Mark how he wants to use them. He's the composer. He's got the vision of how he wants the song to go. So what he uses is up to him. That may or may not end up in the intro. He might have other ideas. Maybe I've completely stepped on someone's toes by putting solos down there. It might be he had a specific thing he wants to do in the intro. There wasn't that. But anyway, the track was there to be played over, so I did it anyway. And then now he has an option. He can put it in if he wants to. But so there's the first one. What time are we on? I've got 10 minutes. Should we have a quick listen to the second solo? Sure, why not? So where's that? Around about 1:20, something like that. So this solo happens over the between verse 1 and verse 2. Let's see. So around about 1:20. 1:20 something, maybe. Let's try there. Oh, that's really quiet. Do it. Craig. How you doing, Craig? Why is this really quiet? It suddenly died, hasn't it? Is that really quiet? Turn it up. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Solo number 2. Cool. So there it is. So this is the one I was talking about last week that doesn't actually start on beat 1. And I did that for a reason. I wanted to just delay that start just so it comes in on beat 2 with a fairly wailing note. Let's have another quick listen to that. Pooh David, your dulcet tones help. Sounds good now. Awesome. Pleased to hear it. I'm pleased that having some sort of positive impact on people's lives. It is music after all. I'm mucking around with it. Life was so much easier when we had cassette decks and could rewind. Where's this? Here we go. Spread the joy, absolutely. Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, let's stop it there. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm basically taking the 17th fret, and it's a bend, and then a little legato. So I'm only picking that once. So we're basically in E minor pentatonic. Now, there's a little harmonized, which I can't remember how to do. Something like that. Which I kind of made it, yeah, that was it. Kind of made it sort of scream really scarily. I can't do it now. Maybe it wasn't that note. Maybe it was that one. Anyway, so yeah. No, that was it. So I'm playing the 15th fret and 16th fret and bending up on the 16th fret. Oh, I can't do it. Might be this guitar actually. Bad workman blames his tools, but I wasn't playing a Strat. I was playing a Charvel with humbuckers, so maybe that helps. Now, that was the first part. I can't actually remember the second part. Let's have a listen. Back a wee bit. So only the standard pentatonic place right here, slow bend, and then this. So that's just. And the way I do that is I'm only picking one note, picking the E note on the 12th fret on the E string. But I'm holding down with my first finger 2 frets, two strings. And then I'm tapping with my pinky and pulling off. So let's see if we can do it again. Kinda. And then finishing on a G. What did I do with that bit? Yikes, I have no idea. Anyway, we've only got a couple more minutes left because I need to split at 10. So I might have to continue this next week, which will be fun. So we'll maybe analyze the second solo a bit more next week. But anyway, that gives you a kind of insight into what's happening. So yeah, it's good fun. It's been a lot of fun laying down these solos and a very, very creative process doing it. And the cool thing that I find is that, a lot of things that I practice in my practice time, which is I try to practice every day if I can, even if it's just like a few minutes or half an hour or something. Half an hour is about as much as I get because I'm just super busy. But all of these things come into play when you record this stuff. All the little sequences that you practice and the scales that you practice, it all comes together really nicely, in these sort of contexts when you go and, do a solo or write a song or play a rhythm part for someone, whatever, it all sort of manifests itself really nicely. Craig, sounds great. Looking forward to hearing the full track when it's done. Yeah, me too, actually. Obviously, I've heard the rough sort of version that Mark sent over, and I've heard the version that I sort of mixed with my guitar solos on it, but that I don't think is representative. Will pop up at Angie the band when it's done. Cool, awesome. Well, there we go. So I'll continue this next week. We'll get back into it. It's going to be 9:30 to 10, just because that gives me a bit of time to sum up my admin and things. But thanks for tuning in, and Mark, thanks for asking me to do this because it's been awesome. I've really enjoyed it, just letting loose, turning up the distortion and wailing. So I'll do more next week. I'll cut down that second solo and break it down a bit further. But you get the idea. We just ran out of time today. I'm tired. I've got to get some food and go and see my family. I think they're in bed, but my wife is still up. So I will go and do that and enjoy the rest of my evening. And you enjoy the rest of your evening or the rest of your day. And yes, great stuff. I'll see you next week for another Monday night guitar hang. Bye for now.